Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. Breaking news, Everton have been drawn against fellow Premier League side Brentford at Goodison Park in the FA Cup fourth round. A decent draw for me, could have been worse, could have been a lot better, of course. Some of the lower league sides that are still in the competition, it would have been nice to have been drawn against one of those at Goodison Park. But it is, as I said, it's not the worst draw in the world. A home draw, which is always a positive, of course, especially in these rounds of the Cup. It used to be double legs in these situations, and if you weren't successful in winning first time round, it goes to a replay. We know, obviously, after last night's game that isn't the case anymore. It goes to extra time and penalties. Not that obviously the plan is for the game against Brentford to go to extra time and penalties, but it means that having a home tie is obviously much more beneficial now than it certainly used to be. As I said, Brentford are a really good side. Thomas Frank is a manager that obviously has done fantastically well to get Brentford where they are in the Premier League at the moment. And it will be an extremely difficult game of football, a game of football that I would hope Everton would be, have more than enough to go out and win. The game will be played on the first weekend of February, so between the 4th, which is the Friday, I believe, and the 7th, which is the Monday of February. So hopefully by that first weekend of February, we're in at least a little bit better form than what we're in at the moment. Obviously, last night's game wasn't the greatest game of football to watch, and we certainly made it difficult for ourselves, albeit, we ended up winning it, obviously, to put ourselves in the hat, which is all that matters at the end of the day. The performance wasn't very good whatsoever, and I don't think there's any doubt in any of our minds that if we're to beat Brentford on in the fourth round, we're certainly going to have to put a much better performance in than the one that we put in last night. I think Brentford are a much better side than Hull, and Brentford will cause us, much more issues than Hull did last night. But as I said, it could have been much worse. Teams like Chelsea in there, teams like Liverpool in there, West Ham have won today against Leeds as well, so it could have been a lot worse than what it is. Brentford is still a decent side, and it'll definitely be a difficult fixture. One of only few Premier League ties, I believe, out of the draw. I've just watched the rest of the draw there, and there was a lot of Premier League sides drawn up against lower league opposition, so I think it might be potentially the only Premier League draw. I could be wrong there, but it's certainly one of the only Premier League ties. Which obviously makes it that little bit more difficult. And as I said, Brentford are a decent side. They can defend, they can create chances, they can score goals. But it's at Goodison Park. Could have been worse, as I said. Could have been better. Don't get me wrong, no disrespect to Boreham Wood, but I wouldn't have minded them at Goodison Park. But it's a game that, we should be targeting as a win. It's not too difficult. And hopefully come that first weekend of February, we're in a bit of a better situation than what we're in now, certainly form-wise. Hopefully the win last night against Hull will give us that little bit of confidence and that little bit of momentum to push on now. There's rumours around social media to suggest that Tuesday's game against Leicester may be postponed. Apparently Leicester have officially requested the postponement due to not even COVID cases in their camp. I don't even think they've got any COVID cases. They certainly haven't got many, but they've got a number of injuries and a number of players, I believe, out in the African Cup of Nations, so they haven't got the correct amount of outfield players to field the squad, or whatever that rule is at the moment. So who knows whether we'll even have a game on Tuesday. That one might be postponed again. The postponed game against Leicester being postponed again. But as I said, hopefully the win last night, albeit, wasn't pretty, wasn't a fantastic performance. Hopefully that gives us a little bit of confidence to to get a little bit of good form under our belt going into obviously the next couple of important Premier League games, and then this FA Cup fixture on the first weekend of February as well. We are live. Let us know your thoughts in the live comments before we finish up. If you're enjoying it as well, please do leave a like. One thing I do want to say before we leave the stream is I'm literally, I think, 2 followers away from 10,000 on Twitter. So if you don't follow our Twitter, it's at MightyBluesYT. If you search on Twitter The Mighty Blues, it'll come up. We're literally 1 or 2 followers away now from 10,000 on Twitter. I know not everybody uses Twitter, but if you do use Twitter and you don't follow us, if you could go over there and give us a follow, that'd be greatly appreciated. Andy says, could have been much worse, was expecting Liverpool away. Yeah, when Chelsea were drawn out at Stamford Bridge, I was thinking, yep, there we go, this is exactly, this is the draw that we're going to get, isn't it? But fortunately for us, it wasn't. I say fortunately, Brentford are a decent side. Brentford will will cause problems. Brentford will turn up and they'll see this as an opportunity to, make an impression in their first season up in the Premier League. They're doing relatively well in the league so far. I don't think they're, sort of close to a relegation battle. They're certainly not within the, the bottom 3 or 4 teams that you're looking at thinking will go down at the moment. And they'll be targeting the FA Cup as an opportunity to get some instant sort of success. So it'll be a difficult game. It really will. Remy says, well, it was a good run. Hernandez says, could have been worse. David says, good time for the new manager. Jason says, hi Cam, hi everybody. Okay, draw. Yeah, as I said, wasn't too bad. Could have been worse, could have been better. Hernandez says, let's win this and then play Chelsea or Liverpool in the next round. That's probably what's going to happen, isn't it? Also, please, says Jason. It's right. Stephen says, if Rafa sorts his head out and plays 3 in midfield, we'll smash Brentford. How long have we been saying for the manager to play 3 in midfield for? I can't even begin to count on, well, certainly on both hands for me, how long I've been trying to, get across the point that we desperately need to play a 3 in midfield, because it just works, and not playing a 3 in midfield doesn't work. It's as simple as that. Jason says, for Kidderminster to get West Ham at home. Yeah, also pleased for them, yeah. Whamey says, just gonna be Rafa tape till the end of the season. Liverpool getting their annual easy tie, says Thomas. Yeah, again, I think they got Cardiff at home. Did they get Cardiff at home? So, yeah, listen, they'll get an easy run until the final, as they do every year. Bailey says, if Leicester gets called off for injuries / African Cup of Nations, the league's a joke. I get COVID, but everything else is part of the game. Games have gone much. It is mad, isn't it? Because you think back to all of the years prior to COVID when, teams had various players out in the African Cup of Nations and various injuries, and there was no game postponements then. It was just, you play your under-23s, you play your under-18s, you get on with it. You've got to deal with it. But that's what happens when the Premier League set a rule of not specifically detailing postponements in regards to COVID cases, and just saying, well, if you haven't got whatever it is, 13 players fit, then the game will be postponed, unless they obviously feel like they haven't got 13 first teamers fit. Now, what you would class as a first teamer is up for debate. The Premier League, I think, have said that any under 23 players that is featured in a matchday squad is seen as a first teamer, but how many players of Everton had to bread through early on, in situations like this in the past, when, we maybe haven't wanted to because of this type of situation. So, listen, we'll wait and see if the game is postponed. We will be doing a video if the game is postponed, but I'm sure we'll hear more within the next 24 hours or so. Well, we will, because the game's on Tuesday. So, David says, 3 games tops. He has to get 7 points. When he says back-to-back games, he has made ridiculous tactical decisions. I've lost faith. So now it's just Rafa tape holding Everton together till the end of the season, till he goes in the summer, sorry. Yeah, look, yesterday wasn't very good, was it? It wasn't very good. Let's not try and, sugarcoat it. We were awful. We were absolutely abysmal, but we won the game. We're in the hat. And all as we can hope now, Rafa Benitez said weeks and weeks ago before the Arsenal win, it'll only take 1 win, and then hopefully we'll get a little bit of confidence going and we'll be able to bounce on. We got that win against Arsenal. We turned up the week later and we lost again. So we've got another win now. Only our second since September. Only our second in 12, 13 games, whatever it is. If we can't bounce on after this game, and if we're going to play on Tuesday and lose to Leicester, which, we don't know whether that game will go ahead, or we're going to play next weekend and we lose, then it's not looking good for the manager. It really isn't. And as I said, I don't think he should have been in a job 4 or 5 weeks ago, never mind now. Where are we then? Jason says, hopefully Leicester get told to play. Games shouldn't be cancelled because of injuries. Well, I don't think they will. I think it will be postponed, personally, but we'll wait and see. Daniel says, think we'll get beat. We don't have to fight to beat Brentford. Well, let's wait and see. It is obviously to be played after the transfer window ends, so it'll be interesting to see if we've got any new faces in at that point. We'll wait and see, I suppose. Alex says, we just scrape a win against Hull, we get Brentford. Wimmy says, who plays Coleman left wing back? I guess the same clan that plays him centre back against a 6'5" striker. Yeah. Thomas says, yes. Paul says, just made the 10k on Twitter. Thank you very much, Paul. Really do appreciate that, my mate. Thank you to everyone who has followed us on Twitter. 10k is an unbelievable number. Thank you so much. Greeting fellow Blues, says Semi. Yours says, #smash Brentford. Thomas says he's promised a better second half of the season. Well, we're well in the second half of the season now, so it's about time we start seeing it. And EFC graphic says about time we get a home draw. It is nice to get a home draw. Can't remember the last time we got a home draw in the FA Cup. Certainly not in the earlier rounds. Typically, the earlier rounds of both domestic competitions, we play a lot away from home as well. So it is nice, albeit against the Premier League side. That will definitely cause us problems. And if we play like we did last night, I've got no doubt we won't win that game. But let's hope that we're a little bit more improved. Let's hope that we get a bit of confidence under our belt between now and then, and we can put in a decent performance, because that's what's going to be needed to beat this Brentford side. But there you go. Everton have been drawn against Brentford in the 4th round of the FA Cup at Goodison Park. Let us know your thoughts on it in the comments section down below. If you've joined us live and watched live, really, really do appreciate it. If you have enjoyed it, it would mean a massive amount to me if you could hit that like button. If you're watching as a YouTube video, leave your thoughts down below, and let us know what you think about the draw, and we'll get involved with as many of them as possible. Whamey says, why give up all our midfield control to put 3 full centre-backs on and defend your 18-yard line when you can't defend? All you're doing with 5 at the back is giving the opposition ball in the midfield and letting them attack. Yeah, I agree, Whamey. I'm totally with you, mate. Andy says, would love Big Duncan Wayne in charge. Interesting. EFC Graphics says, you got an Everton Instagram. We do. We've got a Mighty Blues Instagram, but I haven't uploaded on it for about a year, just because I just got a little bit fed up with having to constantly go on Instagram and put pictures up and stuff. But we are looking to relaunch the Instagram. I think it's Mighty Blues EFC. You can go and follow us over there, and hopefully over the next couple of weeks or so we'll relaunch it and get some content on there. Eugene says, Everton expected to make improved offer for Longstaff. Interesting. Thomas says, we had one last year with no fans against Rotherham, but with fans it was Lincoln under Silver. Oh yeah, I forgot. I automatically assumed that everyone last year was away because I wasn't there. I forgot that we played a period of football with no fans. But there you go. Last one with fans was what? 4 years ago. Smash the like button, everyone, says Semi. Jamie says Chelsea at home again. We haven't got Chelsea at home. Jason says those cup ties come after an international break. They do. They certainly do. Anyway, big thanks for watching. If you could hit that like button, it would mean a massive amount to me. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new as well. We'll be back tomorrow with the game review to the win last night against Hull. So join us for that one around about 4:15, 4:30 if you are free and want to get involved. Big thanks for watching. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. And we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.